Happy Valentine's Day out there to everybody who's got someone to snuggle up to and watch horror movies with. But if you're someone who's single, let's talk about literally any other holiday like Thanksgiving. From the recently released commentary track of the film, coming from Eli Roth, the writer-director of the film, and Jeff Rendell, producer and also co-writer, we learned a lot of very interesting behind-the-scenes facts about Thanksgiving, as well as some interesting clues as what's to come in the sequel. Let's talk a little bit about these things. For today's video, I'm using a Bloody Disgusting article coming from Alex DiVincenzo, talking about the 10 things he was able to learn from Eli Roth's Thanksgiving commentary track. Check out the full article in the description of this video. Alex's highlights of the commentary track reveals some really hilarious behind-the-scenes stuff, as well as a potential kill that we may actually see in Thanksgiving 2. Let's get to all this stuff. One that you probably already know is that the concept for Thanksgiving dates all the way back to Eli Roth and Jeff Rendell's childhood. 2023's feature-length Thanksgiving is of course based off of the faux trailer that Jeff Rendell and Eli Roth made for Grindhouse back in 2007. But they actually came up with the idea for this film all the way back in 1984 when Silent Night Deadly Night first released. Apparently the idea for Thanksgiving spawned after watching Silent Night Deadly Night and saying, why is there no slasher film for Thanksgiving? We got one for Halloween, we got one for Christmas, we need to sandwich something in the middle there. During the commentary track, Eli Roth remembers, we just started thinking of like, what if there was a Thanksgiving slasher movie? You could put someone in an oven and there was a killer pilgrim and someone was dressed as a turkey and they get decapitated. We were probably 12 or 13 years old. Apparently several characters in Thanksgiving are named after real people that Eli and Jeff grew up with. Eli explains, we had to get their permission, so kids we hadn't talked to in 30 years at least, and we're like, hey, you didn't really know us, but we really like your name. More often than not, we couldn't even go directly to them, so we had to get a go-between to then approach the person. One of the most notable names is Scuba, which makes a lot of sense. That is a bizarre name for a character just out of absolutely nowhere. A descendant of the real John Carver is actually in the movie and gets killed by him. Amanda Barker, who plays Lizzie, the waitress that gets cut in half by the dumpster, happens to be a descendant of the real-life historical figure. Do you think it was weird for her to be fake killed in a movie by someone who was wearing the face of one of her descendants? Probably, right? In an early draft of Thanksgiving, a severed head landed in a tuba. That sounds very Eli Roth, I'm not surprised. Talking about this rejected kill, Jeff Rendell reveals there was a tuba player mort when it was a bit less serious and a head landed in it. Roth replies, I forgot. If you had reminded me of the head going into the tuba with the tuba player, I would have shot it. Well, hopefully we get to do a sequel. Interestingly enough, a sequel is already planned to release in 2025. I'm imagining November. So if there's any morts watching this video, don't learn how to play the tuba in the next 2 years. This does bring up a really interesting question about Thanksgiving too, though. Will it be more goofy than its predecessor? I say probably. The Thanksgiving faux trailer all the way to the feature are both very, very silly, so I would be shocked if they decided to just completely make this one dramatic and serious. All I'm hoping is that the kills stay at the same level of intensity, with the exact same amount of gore too. Nell Verlack, who plays the lead Jessica in the film, was chosen out of a group of 600 actresses. Jeff Rendell recalls the exact moment that they were able to find their lead character, saying, that night I remember I wanted to just go to sleep. I was totally exhausted and I just went, well, I should be a professional here and just plow through. And I watched all the rest of the auditions in that night. The second I saw her, I texted Eli on WhatsApp and said, dude, you need to call this girl. She came in, got the part, and the rest is history. She'll probably be starring in the next one, although no cast confirmation is out at the moment. 1995's Mute Witness, alongside a lot of other horror flicks, were huge influences on Thanksgiving. During the commentary track, the filmmakers also referenced The House by the Cemetery, Predator, Cruising, The Shining, and Carrie. The movies I Know What You Did Last Summer and Pieces are undeniably huge influences on this one. Eli Roth has stated in multiple interviews that the latter there is one of his all-time favorite horror flicks. Thanksgiving and Pieces have like the same style of humor. It's uncanny. This one's a twofer because Dewey the cat is not a Scream reference, and on top of that, this cat has also played another very famous horror cat. Dewey the cat was played by Tonic the cat in real life and also played Church in the 2019 remake of Pet Sematary. The name of the cat being Dewey is also not a Scream reference, although that is yet another film that clearly inspired this one. Talking about why they decided to name the cat Dewey, Eli Eli Roth says, "If you are from Boston, you will know what Dewey means. If you're not, ask someone." In the Bloody Disgusting article I'm using for this video, the writer notes that he's likely referring to Boston Red Sox great Dwight Dewey Evans, or potentially even Dewey Square, which is a major intersection in downtown Boston. I have literally only been to that city one time. Ya boy is from Cleveland. I got nothing on this one. One of my favorite chase sequences in the entire movie that happens in the cosmetology room wasn't even in the script. Talking about why this scene was added, Eli Roth says, "We're scouting at this high school and there's this room where they have cosmetology. The kids literally learn cosmetology. That was never in any draft. So we thought, well, why not set it in here?" And then later, when Jessica's being chased, she runs in the room with all the heads. It was just such good foreshadowing. That's kind of nuts to me because the chase sequence that happens in that room is so well shot, great with the tension building. I will say though, the group dialogue scene feels a little messy. I can tell that was unscripted. The killer was played by multiple actors, including the same actor who was revealed to be the killer in the original Thanksgiving. Spoilers ahead, my friends. Apparently, Patrick Dempsey played John Carver in the cosmetology chase and during the dinner scene. Milo Manheim, who plays Ryan, plays the clown that decapitates the turkey mascot during the parade. A sous chef was hired to play the killer as he prepares the human turkey, and a stunt performer named Alex Armbruster handled the dangerous moments throughout the film. John Carver's voice was provided by Canadian actor and filmmaker Adam McDonald, who previously collaborated with Eli Roth on Be Mine, a VR Valentine slasher. Speaking of that, I have absolutely no idea where to watch or, I guess, experience that, but I'm very curious. Technically, that's a slasher movie that Eli Roth wrote, so I'm kind of interested in checking it out, even if it sucks. Eli Roth was supposedly allowed to use the track Where Eagles Dare for the end credits because he appeared in a Glenn Danzig movie prior. Eli Roth has a role in Glenn Danzig's Death Rider in the House of Vampires. And for those who don't know, Glenn Danzig is the frontman for the band The Misfits. You probably know the guy from his song, "Mother, tell your children not to walk this way." My man's got some loose jowls. I absolutely loved Thanksgiving from this past November, and I'm super excited to see what they do with the sequel here in 2025. The last big update we had on the film is that Eli Roth was going to take this entire year to get the script down perfect so that it's ready to shoot in 2025 and release in November of that same year. Most likely. What are they gonna do? Release Thanksgiving 2 in July? That makes no sense. I am hyped for the sequel. What do you guys think about it? Is that tuba kill gonna be in there or not? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this brand new update on Thanksgiving 2. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content in the future. Please consider supporting me on Patreon by clicking that link in the description below. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.